The illegal elbow.
Elbow techniques.
This is the elbow.
An elbow from here. I'll throw the elbow.
Yeah, the illegal elbows.
All right, people, we're back, man. Illegal Elbow Radio. Another exciting episode for you guys, man. This is Brian from Illegal Elbow Radio, Illegal Elbow on Twitter.
And this is Dan from MMA Aftermath on Facebook and Twitter.
All right, people, we're getting to it, man. Hope everybody's weekend is good so far. Got a good night of fights ahead of us, man. It's just me for right now. Dan and myself have been so booked work and, just a lot of stuff going on. So I'm just going to say some quick thoughts on these last three fights, pretty much. But great night going into the top three. Very interesting, man. Very interesting. Everybody seems to love or hate Conor McGregor, man. So this guy, the guy's really just ramped it up. Come into UFC with a good record. You know what I mean? And 3 fights in, he looks really good. Diego Brando, I wouldn't say was really that much of a match for a guy of his caliber. So coming off that win, it's not anything that is too super surprising. I thought Diego Brando could do pretty good against him, but that being said, on the other side was Dustin Poirier, also beating Diego Brando, coming off a win over Akira Corsani, round 2 punches, TKO. Also a win over Eric Koch. It was a big win for him, decision. His last loss was to Cub Swanson. That was 4 fights ago. Cub Swanson is a beast of himself. I mean, these guys, all three of these guys, Cub Swanson, Dustin Poirier, Conor McGregor, are all just monsters on their way up. So you're going to have that to where you get a little sidelined, especially with guys like this, can get sidelined or sideline somebody else from getting their way to the top. So it's not a big shock. In terms of picks, man, it's really hard, man. It's really very hard because they're very evenly matched. They're two dynamic strikers. I would say Dustin Poirier has a little bit of the edge, but that's even hard to say as well. But the reason why I say so is I think he's a little more well-rounded. Conor McGregor's been on a crash course to really get a lot of knowledge in a short time, and he's done great with it, you know what I mean? But he hasn't been too many fights into the wrestling game and that kind of stuff. But he does train with the likes of Nelson, Gunnar Nelson is a great guy to train with. His career is blossoming, as we speak. So I think it's going to be a great fight. Just for shits and grins, I'm going to go out on a limb and say Dustin Poirier. I think it's going to be a grueling fight, though. I think it's going to be really good. Moving on. Getting to Donald Cerrone taking on Eddie Alvarez. Eddie really is the underdog coming into this. But, Eddie's really got... The level of competition is not the same. I have to go ahead and throw that out there. But he's been in there with some just ridiculously great names when it comes to a Bellator. Excellent, top quality, names that should not be in Bellator, in my opinion. They should be somewhere better, but that doesn't really matter. That's not the point I'm getting to. But he's faced a Michael Chandler, Patricky Ferreira, Shinya Aoki, and a Michael Chandler, which he lost to Michael Chandler, then turned around and got it back in his last fight, which was November 2013. So he's almost a year out, which kind of sucks. But we've seen worse, and we've seen him, a year out, and he still came back and looked badass, So I think it's going to be a really good fight because Eddie Alvarez is used to really good talent. Donald Cerrone kind of starts to have a hard time when he gets to top talent in the UFC. So I think they're pretty evenly matched. I think at Donald Cerrone, if he's able to get off some strikes, he may be able to finish Eddie Alvarez. It's hard to say. On the ground, I think it's going to be pretty sick. I think they're both going to be just ridiculous. I think it's going to be a sick ground game if it goes there. But if it doesn't go, I would probably way in the area of a Cerrone in the striking game. But it's really hard to say, man, because Cerrone had a lot of hiccups when it came to a Diaz, you know what I mean? So I don't know the exact reach of Eddie Alvarez. But Eddie Alvarez has got a sick striking game, man, so we could see a hell of a fight here, man. As far as a pick, guys, I really cannot even tell you. I'm going to go ahead, just, you can call it a safe pick. I'll call it a safe pick. I'm going to go ahead and say Donald Cerrone, kind of picking with the collective, you know what I mean? Everybody seems to feel that he's got the edge. You know what I mean? But I'm not sleeping on Eddie Alvarez, man. I think the guy's awesome. I'm in his corner. If he wins it, I'm all for it. It's great. You know what I mean? But I like both these guys, so it's a tough one to. It's a tough one to go over, man. Really, it is. But getting to the main event here, man, and I'm not going to say I'm not a fan of these guys, but I'm not a big fan of these the lighter weight divisions. Even though I can't say that when they get out there, they're so damn quick, and it's impressive, and it's a blast to watch. But it's just not my forte. I'm more into the heavyweights, you know what I mean? Light heavyweights. I mean, bigger guys, I guess. You know, I like knockouts. You know, with these lighter guys, you see them, but not as often. You know what I mean? Just to get a little review of these guys and where they've been. I'm not going to disrespect Cariaso, but I mean, really, the competition just is not the same. You know, he's been in there with some good guys. You know, some Moraga. De Silva, Juicier De Silva, Mizugaki. He's been in there with some good guys, but his last few, they're good, but they're not even in the range of a Demetrius Johnson, or a top three, what have you. But and you look on the other side, Demetrius Johnson. I mean, the competition's been there. These guys have been coming after him, and Bogatinov. I thought that was a kind of a, I thought that was kind of a. There's nobody else for him to fight. Let's just throw this guy in there, Not disrespecting Bogatinov, but, hey, it is what it is, man. I mean, Joseph Benavidez, Moraga, Dodson, Benavidez again, Ian McCall. I mean, he's on his sixth. If he wins tonight, it'll be his seventh title defense, which is impressive, man. So, sixth title defense. He won the belt. And then defended it 5 times, so this will be his 6th defense. So, and I'm picking Demetrius Johnson. The guy's so quick, good chin. And by the time you hit him, it's a lot of times it's a slipping punch because he's out of the way. And he's great on the ground. I mean, the guy's just everywhere with what he does. And I can't give you a thorough breakdown on a Cariaso because the guy's still up and coming, in my opinion. In my opinion, they're throwing him in there because he seems to be the next big dude, but the level of competition is just not the same. So I just don't see Chris getting in there and posing a huge threat. I hope it's a good fight. I hope it's a good showing for Chris, but I see Demetrius Johnson getting it. So sorry for getting the show out so late, guys, but MMA Aftermath, head over there, check them out on Facebook, check them out on Twitter. You want to give us a Hotmail, suggestions, comments, illegalelbow@hotmail, real easy. So keep the emails coming. Twitter followers, man, I appreciate you guys, man, big time. And I hope you guys are liking the shows, So that's predominantly what I use Twitter for, is the shows and to follow the fighters, stuff like that, and fight fans, all that good stuff, and just keep in touch with you guys. But anyway, hope you guys dig the show. Check them all out. Spreaker.com. Just search Illegal Elbow. You'll find us, man. And we'll see you next time, man. Don't forget Illegal Elbow on Facebook, too. Illegal Elbow Radio on Facebook. So we'll see you guys. We're out of here. Steadfast and God beer.